Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other socials for more. Enjoy. Fingers traced over the journal. Inside, pages filled with memories, her transformation. The handwriting evolved from hesitant scrawls to confident curves, mirroring the journey of its owner. Sitting at a small desk in a cozy apartment, bathed in the warm glow of a desk lamp, she began to read. October 15th, 2010. I've always been drawn to the world of women's fashion. The colors, the textures, the way fabric drapes and flows. It's like a living, breathing art form. Today, I found myself lingering in the women's section of the department store again, running my fingers over silky blouses and flowing skirts. The saleswoman gave me an odd look, probably assuming I was shopping for a girlfriend. If only she knew. I wish I could explain this feeling inside me. It's not just admiration for the clothes. It's a longing, a sense that somehow they belong on me. But that's crazy, right? I'm a guy. At least that's what everyone sees when they look at me. But when I look in the mirror, something doesn't quite fit. It's like I'm wearing a costume I can't take off. November 3rd, 2010. I did something terrifying and exhilarating today. When my parents left for their weekend getaway, I snuck into my mom's closet. With shaking hands, I slipped on one of her dresses, a simple navy blue wrap dress. The moment it settled on my shoulders, it was like a puzzle piece clicking into place. I twirled in front of the mirror, watching the skirt flare out around my legs. For the first time in my life, I felt right. But then I heard a car door slam outside, and panic set in. I scrambled to get the dress off and hang it back up exactly as I'd found it. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. As I heard my parents' keys in the lock, I realized two things. I never wanted to take that dress off, and I could never let anyone know. February 14th, 2011, Valentine's Day. Another year of pretending to be interested in dating girls, of nodding along when my friends talk about which cheerleaders they think are hot. I've gotten good at faking it, but it feels like I'm suffocating a little more each day. I've started buying my own clothes, women's clothes, and hiding them in the back of my closet. Nothing fancy, just a few simple tops and a skirt. Sometimes late at night when everyone's asleep, I put them on and just exist. In those moments, I feel like I can breathe again. I don't know what this means. Am I gay? But I'm not attracted to men. I'm attracted to the idea of being a woman. Is that even a thing? I'm so confused and scared. September 5th, 2011. First day of senior year. I thought I had it all figured out, keep my head down, get through this last year, and then, well, I don't know what comes after. But today, something changed. In my English class, we're reading Virginia Woolf's Orlando. It's about a person who changes gender over the course of centuries. As we discussed it, my teacher mentioned the term transgender. I'd never heard it before, but something inside me stirred. After class, I raced to the library and started researching. Transgender, a person whose gender identity differs from the gender they were assigned at birth. As I read more and more, tears started streaming down my face. There was a word for what I was feeling. There were other people like me. I wasn't alone. October 31st, 2011. Halloween. The one night of the year when I can be myself without fear. My friends think it's hilarious that I've decided to dress up as a woman. They have no idea how much time and care I've put into this costume. The dress I chose, a deep burgundy with a sweetheart neckline, took weeks to find. I practiced my makeup for hours, watching countless YouTube tutorials. When I finally stepped out of the bathroom, fully dressed, my best friend Wolf whistled and said, "Damn, you make a hot chick." I laughed it off, but inside my heart soared. This is me, I wanted to scream. This is who I really am. The party was a blur of music, laughter, and stolen glances in every reflective surface I could find. For one night, I got to be her, the woman I saw in my dreams, and it felt more real than any day I'd lived as him. August the 20th, 2012 move-in day at college. A fresh start. As I unpacked my things, carefully hiding my growing collection of women's clothes, I made a promise to myself. This year, I would find the courage to be me, the real me. I've chosen a new name, Shelly. It feels right, like it's been waiting for me all along. I haven't told anyone yet, but just writing it down makes my heart race with excitement and fear. October 15th, 2012, I did it. I told my roommate, Tara. We were up late studying for midterms, both punch-drunk on caffeine and lack of sleep. Somehow, the conversation turned to relationships, and before I knew it, the words were tumbling out of my mouth. I'm transgender, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. My name is Shelly. There was a moment of silence that felt like it lasted an eternity. And then Tara smiled, reached out, and squeezed my hand. It's nice to meet you, Shelly, she said. I burst into tears, overwhelmed by relief and gratitude. Tara held me as I cried, assuring me that everything would be okay. For the first time, I believed it might be. March 3rd, 2013, spring break. While most of my classmates are heading to the beach, I'm staying on campus. Tara offered to stay with me, but I insisted she go have fun. The truth is, I need this time alone. I've made an appointment with the campus counselor to talk about my options for transitioning. The thought of taking concrete steps towards becoming Shelly full-time is both thrilling and terrifying. What if I'm not brave enough? What if I lose everyone I care about? But then I think about how it feels when I'm dressed as myself, when I hear someone call me she or her, and I know I can't go back. This is who I am, and it's time to embrace it. June 1st, 2013, Pride Month. I never thought I'd be celebrating it, but here I am, decked out in rainbow gear and marching through the streets with thousands of others. Tara and our friend group are right beside me, cheering and waving flags. I'm not fully out yet. I'm still presenting as male most of the time, but being here, surrounded by so much love and acceptance, gives me hope. Maybe one day I'll be marching as my true self. September 10th, 2013 junior year has begun, and I've made a decision. I'm going to start presenting as female full-time when we return from winter break. It feels like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing I have to jump, but unsure if I'll fly or fall. I've started laser hair removal on my face, a painful but necessary step. Each zap feels like progress, like I'm erasing the mask I've been forced to wear for so long. Tara and I went shopping for a new wardrobe last weekend. As we browsed through racks of dresses and blouses, she turned to me and said, "You know, Shelly, you've always been a girl. The only difference now is that everyone else will see it too." I hugged her right there in the middle of the store, not caring who saw. December 20th, 2013. Last day of finals, and my last day presenting as male on campus. As I packed up my dorm room, carefully folding away the last of my men's clothes, I felt a mix of sadness and excitement. It was like saying goodbye to a character I'd been playing for too long. I'm spending the break with Tara and her family. They've been incredibly supportive, insisting that I come as myself, as Shelly. Tomorrow, we're going shopping for my debut outfit for the spring semester. It's really happening. I'm really doing this. January 15th, 2014, first day back on campus, and my first day as Shelly. I stood in front of the mirror for what felt like hours this morning, adjusting my outfit, a soft cream-colored sweater and a floral skirt, and touching up my makeup. Tara finally had to drag me out the door, assuring me that I looked beautiful. The stares and whispers followed me all day, but so did smiles and words of encouragement. My professors, who I'd emailed over the break to explain my transition, all used my correct name and pronouns without hesitation. In my favorite literature class, the professor even pulled me aside after to tell me how proud she was of my courage. There were a few snide comments, a few people who pointedly avoided eye contact, but overall, the day was normal. Wonderfully, beautifully normal. For the first time, I walked through the world as myself, and the world didn't end. It just kept spinning, accepting me as I am. May 5th, 2014. I started hormone therapy today. The small pills felt like lead in my hand, so tiny, yet so life-changing. As I swallowed them, I thought about all the changes to come. Softer skin, chest development, fat redistribution. It's strange to think that my body will finally start to align with my mind. The doctor warned me that the emotional changes might be the most challenging at first. Mood swings, she said, are common as your body adjusts to the new hormones. But honestly, I welcome them. After years of feeling numb, of suppressing my true self, I'm ready to feel everything, the highs and the lows. August 30th, 2014, senior year. My last year of college and my first full year as Shelly. The changes from HRT are starting to become noticeable. My face has softened. My body's shape is shifting. I catch glimpses of myself in windows and do a double take, still not quite used to seeing her, the real me, staring back. Dating is complicated. I've had a few interested parties, but disclosing my trans status is always a nerve-wracking experience. Some react with confusion, some with disgust, but a few with genuine interest and acceptance. I'm learning that I deserve someone who loves all of me, not just the parts they find convenient. May 15th, 2015, graduation day. As I donned my cap and gown, I couldn't help but reflect on how far I've come. 4 years ago, I arrived on this campus terrified and closeted. Today, I'm leaving as Shelly confident, proud, and ready to take on the world. My parents are here. Our relationship has been strained since I came out to them last year, but they're trying. Mom still slips up with my pronouns sometimes, and Dad is clearly uncomfortable. But they're here. That's something. As I walked across the stage to receive my diploma, I heard Tara and our friends cheering louder than anyone else. "That's our girl!" Tara shouted, and I beamed. Yes, I thought. I am. September 1st, 2015, first day at my new job. I was fortunate enough to find a company with a strong non-discrimination policy, and I was open about my trans status during the interview process. Still, walking into that office for the first time was nerve-wracking. I chose a conservative outfit, a black pencil skirt, and a pale blue blouse, wanting to make a professional first impression. As I introduced myself to my new co-workers, I was met with smiles and handshakes. No one batted an eye at my appearance or my voice, which is still deeper than I'd like, despite vocal training. My boss, a kind-faced woman named Eleanor, pulled me aside at the end of the day. "Shelly," she said, "I just wanted to let you know that we're glad to have you here. If you ever face any issues or discrimination, my door is always open." I nearly cried right there in her office. December 31st, 2015, New Year's Eve. As I get ready for a night out with friends, I catch myself smiling at my reflection. The woman in the mirror is me, wholly, completely me. My body has continued to change with HRT, and I've grown more comfortable in my own skin. This past year has been one of immense growth and change. I've navigated the working world as a woman, dealt with the complexities of dating, and continued to heal my relationship with my family. It hasn't always been easy, but it's been real, authentic. As the clock strikes midnight and fireworks explode in the sky, I make a silent promise to myself. This year, and every year after, I will live unapologetically as Shelly. I will fight for my rights and the rights of my trans siblings. I will love fiercely, laugh freely, and never again hide who I am. The journey isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning. But for the first time in my life, I'm excited for what the future holds. Because the future is mine to shape, as the woman I've always been meant to be. June 15th, 2016. Pride again, but this time I'm not just an observer. I'm marching proudly with the trans flag draped over my shoulders. The sun is beating down, but I don't mind the sweat trickling down my back or the ache in my feet from walking for hours. As we pass the crowds lining the streets, I spot a young person watching with wide eyes. They can't be more than 14 or 15, and there's a look of recognition on their face that I know all too well. I break away from the march for a moment to approach them. "Hi there," I say, smiling warmly. "Happy Pride." They stammer out a greeting, their eyes fixed on my trans flag. Taking a chance, I ask, "Would you like one? I have an extra." Their face lights up, but then falls just as quickly. I can't. My parents..." I nod, understanding all too well. "How about this?" I say, reaching into my bag. I pull out a small rainbow pin, subtle enough to go unnoticed by unobservant parents. "For when you're ready." As I press the pin into their hand, I see tears welling up in their eyes. "Thank you," they whisper. I rejoin the march with a full heart, remembering how much a small act of kindness and recognition would have meant to me at that age. The road ahead of that young person might be difficult, but I hope they know now that they're not alone. September 30th, 2016. I had my first performance review at work today. I was nervous. Not because I doubted my abilities, but because I wasn't sure how my transition might have affected my colleagues' perceptions of me. Eleanor smiled as I sat down across from her. "Shelly," she began, "I want you to know that you've exceeded all our expectations this year. Your work has been exemplary, and you've become an integral part of our team." I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding, but Eleanor wasn't finished. "Moreover," she continued, "the grace and openness with which you've shared your journey has inspired many of your coworkers. We've seen a marked improvement in our overall company culture since you joined us. People are more open, more accepting. You've made a real difference here." Tears pricked at my eyes, and for once I didn't try to hold them back. "Thank you," I managed to say. "That means more than you know." As I left Eleanor's office, I felt a surge of pride, not just for my professional accomplishments, but for the impact I'd had simply by being myself. It was a powerful reminder that visibility matters, that every step I take as an out and proud trans woman helps pave the way for others. December 24th, 2016, Christmas Eve. I'm back in my hometown for the holidays, the first time I've returned since fully transitioning. The familiar streets feel different somehow, or maybe it's just me who's changed. Dinner with my parents is tense. Mom tries her best, complimenting my dress and asking about work. Dad is quieter, his discomfort palpable, but they're trying, and that's something. After dinner, as Mom and I are washing dishes, she pauses and turns to me. "Shelly," she says, my name still sounding new on her lips. "I want you to know I'm proud of you. It hasn't been easy for me to understand all of this, but seeing you now, you're happier than I've ever seen you. And that's all a mother really wants for her child." I set down the plate I'm drying and pull her into a hug, both of us crying. It's not perfect, but it's progress. And right now, that's enough. March 8th, 2017 International Women's Day. The office is abuzz with celebration, with many of my female colleagues wearing purple in solidarity. As I walk to my desk, resplendent in a deep purple blouse, I overhear two of the older women in accounting discussing the day's significance. "It's about time we had a day to recognize everything women contribute," one says. "Lord knows we've been overlooked for too long." "Absolutely," the other agrees. Then, noticing me, she smiles and adds, "Don't you think so, Shelly?" There's a moment where I'm not sure how to respond. Do I belong in this conversation? Am I woman enough to have an opinion? But then I straighten my shoulders and smile back. "Definitely," I say. "And I think it's important to remember that this day is for all women, CIS, trans, of all races and backgrounds. We're stronger when we stand together." The women nod approvingly, and as I continue to my desk, I feel a warmth in my chest. I am a woman, celebrating with my fellow women. No qualifiers needed. July 4th, 2017 Independence Day. The irony isn't lost on me as I think about the freedoms I've gained and the battles still to be fought. I'm at a backyard barbecue with friends, the air thick with the smell of grilling meat and the sound of laughter. As the sky darkens and we settle in to watch the fireworks, I find myself in a conversation with Sam, a friend of a friend I've just met. He's cute, with kind eyes and an easy smile. We chat about our jobs, our hobbies, our favorite books. There's a spark there, a connection I haven't felt in a long time. As the first fireworks explode overhead, painting the sky in brilliant colors, Sam turns to me. "Shelly," he says, his voice barely audible over the booms. "I'd really like to take you out sometime, if you're interested, that is." My heart races, equal parts excitement and anxiety. This is the moment I always dread, the disclosure, the potential rejection. But as I look into Sam's earnest face, illuminated by the flashing lights above, I decide to take a chance. "I'd like that," I say. "But there's something you should know about me first." I take a deep breath. I'm transgender. There's a pause, and I brace myself for the worst. But then Sam smiles, reaching out to take my hand. "Okay," he says simply. "Thanks for telling me. I'd still really like to take you out if you're comfortable with that." As the fireworks reach their grand finale, lighting up the entire sky, I squeeze Sam's hand and smile back. "I'd like that very much," I say. It's a small moment, but it feels monumental. Another step forward, another piece of the life I've always dreamed of falling into place. November 20th, 2017, Transgender Day of Remembrance. The community center is packed, the mood somber as we light candles for our fallen siblings. So many names, so many lives cut short by hatred and ignorance. As I listen to the stories of those we've lost, I'm struck by a mix of emotions: grief for those who are gone, gratitude for my own relative safety and acceptance, and a burning determination to keep fighting for a world where no more names need to be added to this list. After the ceremony, a young trans man approaches me, his eyes red from crying. "How do you do it?" he asks. "How do you keep going when the world seems so against us?" I take his hand, squeezing it gently. "We keep going because we have to," I say. "Because every day we live our truth is a victory. Because we owe it to those we've lost to keep fighting for a better future." He nods, wiping away a tear. "Thank you," he whispers. As we part ways, I make a silent vow to myself. I will continue to be visible, to speak out, to fight for our rights, not just for myself, but for all those who can't, for all those we've lost, and for all those yet to come. December 31st, 2017, another New Year's Eve, another moment of reflection. As I get ready for a night out with Sam, yes, we're still dating, and it's been wonderful. I can't help but marvel at how far I've come. 2 years ago, I was just starting to live as my true self. Now, I have a job I love, friends who support me, a boyfriend who adores me for who I am, and a family that's slowly but surely coming around. As I apply the finishing touches to my makeup, a skill I've finally mastered after countless YouTube tutorials, I smile at my reflection. The woman looking back at me is beautiful, not just because of her appearance, but because of her strength, her resilience, her authenticity. I am Shelly. I am a woman. I am transgender. And I am proud. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more wonderful content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.